and you feel it, and then we lock it in like a computer program. We save it. Then we test that belief again.
Yeah,
a belief has been changed, say in the subject of prosperity. Then I would ask, is there another belief statement on this page that would support this goal, this other belief? And sometimes there is, and then we muscle test for that and make a change if that's necessary. And then at the end of a session, I always ask, is Psych K complete for today? Because there's no reason to push through anything like you would in conventional therapy. It's just, your subconscious mind tells you when it's got enough.
And changing a belief, that's a pretty big thing. Going from
huge.
I'm unlovable to I am lovable. I mean, I know I'm unworthy to I am worthy. That changes your entire life.
It's huge, and your subconscious mind needs to just sort of go through the whole file in there, and where did this show up, and let's get rid of that. And it's got a lot of little experiences in there to check and make sure that they're all now in alignment with the I am lovable, I am worthy, whatever the statement was.
So once that shift starts happening, people start feeling that shift. Because I know in most other therapies, you make that shift, you can really feel that happening. And then when people leave my office, I always talk to my clients about personal responsibility. Mm-hmm. That from that point on, they still have to choose that new thought. And in other words, we've changed the neural pathway, and we've got a clear way to go down to the I am lovable and I am worthy and I feel really good about myself and life is easy. But that other road doesn't really ever go away. It just turns into a nice rocky little dirt road that isn't really as traveled as much.
Right, but that maybe reminds you, wait a minute, right. I am worthy.
So that's the responsibility of the client once they leave the office, is to recognize when that old feeling may come up and say, no, I'm choosing to go to this. I'm choosing to this. Because I think that's really important. Some people want miracles and magic and some magic pill that we're going to give them to, really somehow take the disconnect and rewire them. And that's really not what happens. It's really about client personal responsibility. And I just want to make that really clear, because personal responsibility is the most self-empowering experience you can have. So you change one belief, then you can change all your beliefs and start shifting anything.
Anything that's sabotaging you. And the results that Psych K clients experience are varied. In the case of, say, road rage, if you're somebody who is just constantly screaming and hollering and yelling at the driver next to you, and be honest, and using hand signals to express your emotion at the moment. Well, with a road rage client that I've worked with, a number of them actually, what they've all experienced to me and told me about was they were driving and somebody cut them off, and they just went, "Oh, I got cut off. Oh well." And then they're like, "Wow, that was a different reaction." But changing a belief changes your behavior, and that's your reaction. And if you can turn somebody with road rage into, okay, that's a major positive change.
And it's really powerful because, using road rage again, and it's not a good feeling, and it's distress in your body, and that road rage shows up, and those thoughts and that anxiety and that rage has a physical impression in your body.
Exactly.
So all of that stuff, all these beliefs, all the things that aren't serving us, all the ideas and concepts and images that we have about ourselves in life that really aren't who we are, because the truth is, and our subconscious mind knows this, Kathy said this earlier, we are pure love. We are pure expression of the divine and love and just wholeness and we are so complete right now. So your subconscious mind knows that every area where you're out of alignment with your divine nature, and that's what feels bad.
Exactly.
So that's when you get those feels.
And when you get back in alignment, say through a balance or whatever, the feeling is being back in alignment.
Yeah, it feels good.
And there's no way to disconnect the body, mind, and spirit. It's handles everything. And if your mind is giving you trouble, you're going to experience that ultimately in your body.
Yeah, and we know, Brandy and I have done many shows on how distress and stress affects your body, and none of it's good.
Exactly.
So anytime you get that feeling, that's your emotions showing you, the system, your system telling you that you are now out of alignment with what you're wanting to move towards.
Exactly.
That bad feeling is your emotional guidance system. So when that's coming up for you, go see people like Kathy. Go see hypnotherapists and Psych K people. And we're going to do an interview with someone who does theta healing. And there's so many modalities that you can use, and Reiki, where you can really begin transforming those negative feelings into positive feelings, negative beliefs into more positive beliefs, limit ideas into unlimited ideas, and start really enjoying yourself more and more, enjoying your life, enjoying being in the human condition. It's really important right now. So, is there anything else? How can we close this up? Is there anything else you'd like to say about Psych K? I find this so fascinating. One of the things I love about this is how quick and easy this seems to be.
It is. Let's see. Just another thing, that your beliefs establish the limits of what you can achieve in your life. So if you change your beliefs, you can achieve anything you want in your life. Your mind's a computer. Reprogram it and get a different result.
And I love that. Excellent. So Psych K, combination of psychology and kinesiology, muscle testing. And muscle testing is it's about personal responsibility and personal empowerment. It's your body telling you what is synergistic with and synchronistic with your beliefs, and what's good and what's in conflict and what's out of conflict, and how to get all that back in alignment with all these balancing techniques. So if you have any questions, you can go to our website, which is www.itsyourmindthatmatters.com, and we'll have ways for you to contact Kathy Barr. So thank you for showing up for us today, Kathy. That was a really great interview.
Great.
Thanks for all the information, and y'all have a great evening. Thank you. That was pretty interesting, wasn't it?
It was really interesting. What a great interview you did, Mitch. And thank you very much, Kathy, for enlightening us on Psych K and how it works, and another wonderful modality to change those limiting beliefs. So you get where you want to go and you feel better doing it.
You know what I thought was really interesting? When I went online, Kathy and I didn't have a chance to talk about this, but when I went online and looked up psychk.com, I saw that Bruce Lipton is very involved with Rob Williams, who's the creator of Psych K, and somehow he took in sort of the psychological part of it, and Bruce Lipton is all about beliefs, the perception of belief, the biology of belief. He's written books about the biology of belief. So he sort of took his knowledge and his interest in beliefs, and they sort of combined all that and came up with the Psych K. So that got me pretty excited, because I love Bruce Lipton. I find him to be absolutely fascinating.
He's fascinating. He has a PhD in biology, so he definitely comes to the types of things that Mitch and I talk about from a scientific view. And his speaking is phenomenal in the way that he explains how our biology is really formed from our beliefs and not the other way around. So
down to the genes. I mean, he talks about the
DNA,
down to the DNA. So it's really interesting. The book he wrote, The Biology of Belief, is a really fascinating book. Again, he writes very linear. I mean, it's written very scientific. It's kind of a slower reading kind of book, but boy, if you get one of his videos, he's really inspiring. He's a completely different person live than he is in his book.
And he's a fantastic teacher. I mean, when he presents some really high-level concepts in a way that's really easy for people to understand. Some concepts that, as my stepdad Ernie would say, would fry your pie. Again, like when we did the quantum physics show, and we were talking about these scientific ideas and theories that are like, wow, could the world really work in that way? That's the same kind of thing that Dr. Bruce Lipton presents, but in a way that, again, everyone can understand.
So between Rob Williams and Dr. Bruce Lipton, they've created quite a process. It was really interesting. We'll have to you'll have to do a session with it, because it was really fun. The muscle testing part is really fun, and I had a good time. I had a great time doing the interview. So thank you again, Kathy. That was really great.
Yes, thank you, Kathy. And so Kathy talked a little bit about the subconscious and the conscious mind.
That's right.
And we have a clip that we've shown a couple times that I'd like to show again that talks more about the subconscious, conscious mind, and limiting beliefs.